into a scoring position. Virgil van Dijk takes advantage.
The start of November saw Newcastle claim their first win of the season.
Sheer relief on Tyneside. At long last, the Newcastle fans can go home with smiles on their faces tonight.
Cardiff hosted Leicester City on an emotional day as the Foxes returned to action for the first time since the death of their owner, Vichai Siwatana-Prabha.
Bryson for Chilwell. And Gray! Goal for Leicester City! And the perfect tribute for their former chairman who died so tragically a week ago.
There were fireworks at the John Smith Stadium as the bottom two teams went head-to-head, both in desperate need of 3 points. Timothy Fosu-Mensah's own goal gave the Terriers their first win of the season and lifted them off the bottom of the table.
This is huge for us. We really have now the winning feeling back, and everybody needed this belief back that it's possible, and we have shown it today. So it's massive for us.
Moment of controversy changed the game.
Olivas. It's a second for Southampton. And it's Charlie Austin.
Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. They shouldn't win the game. They get a point. We scored a perfectly good goal. Make it 2-0. Game's done and dusted. We win the game. Officials cost us 2 points today. It's standard.
With the Cottagers rock bottom and with the worst goal difference in the league. Ex-Premier League winner Claudio Ranieri was brought in to try and guide the club away from the relegation zone. The 100th anniversary of the end of the First World War saw special remembrance tributes across football ahead of the Manchester derby.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn.
At the going down of the sun,
and in the morning,
we will remember them.
we will remember them.
It's just over 6 months since this dressing room, the Manchester City dressing room, was stunned into silence by Manchester United, who looked beaten at half-time, but somehow came back to just keep the City wait for a title a little bit longer.
It was an emphatic start from City as they looked to banish the memories of the defeat to their arch-rivals last season. But it was...
I'm very pleased with the first match, first victory. It's a little step, but it's an important step.
Spurs moved ahead of Chelsea after inflicting the first defeat of the season on Maurizio Sarri's side. To the 70th birthday, Neil Warnock invited the Friday Night Football cameras into his office ahead of the game with Wolves.
We're joined here by the Cardiff City manager Neil Warnock in his office pre-match.
Yeah, not a lot around, is there?
You're actually going to join illustrious company tomorrow as one of only 4 managers who've managed into the 70s in the Premier League. So Alex Ferguson, Sir Bobby Robson and Roy Hodgson. How does that make you feel?
I'm very proud, obviously. I think when I look back, all this week I've done articles about my past, and although it's a lower level, I think I've got enormous pride, really. I never thought I'd be managing till I was 70, if I'm honest.
What a goal! Junior Holland with a stunning shot. Only their third win of the season, and another reason for Warnock to celebrate his birthday.
Wins against Fulham and Wolves would lift Huddersfield off the foot of the table and up to 16th. 3 wins would see Newcastle climb to 13th, while Fulham would end a disappointing November bottom of the league with a new manager after sacking Slavica Jokanovic. Chelsea's unbeaten run would end at the hands of Tottenham, and the two clubs would swap positions, with Pochettino's side moving into 3rd. For the first time, there was daylight at the top, with Manchester City pulling 2 points clear of Liverpool in 2nd. The Saints raced into a 2-goal lead at St Mary's with goals from Stuart Armstrong and a wonder strike from Cedric Suarez. But United roared back to level at 2-2, meaning Mark Hughes' team had squandered a league-high 12 points from winning positions. This would prove to be the final straw from the hierarchy at Southampton. Mark Hughes would become the 2nd managerial casualty of the season. 2 days later, ex-RB Leipzig manager Ralf Hasenhüttl would be unveiled as the man tasked with leading Southampton away from the relegation zone.
From London and Liverpool, 3 cracking derbies back-to-back featuring 5 of the top 6 and some of the Premier League's standout performers. Stand by for a football feast on Derby Day.
It's one of the standout days in the English football calendar.
You know what I need, want you to see everything, want you to see
Some churning tension that only Derby Day can bring. Yes! Dazzling!
Whoever is the captain for Arsenal say, once again, they will be supporting the Rainbow Laces campaign to make sport inclusive for all.
It's finished 2-0 in our first derby of the day in south-west London between Chelsea and Fulham. And now attention switches to North London. It's Arsenal taking on Tottenham.
In the final instalment of Derby Day, a bizarre injury time winner would see the Reds snatch a dramatic victory.
Amazing! Look at Jurgen Klopp! The daftest derby goal of all time, and it's won the day for Liverpool. It's another red win over blue, but there's never been one quite like this before.
The derby like it should be. High intensity. A proper fight, and of course from our point of view, Liverpool wins.
Brighton fans will remember this M23 derby for a very long time. The Seagulls were 1-0 up, but had just gone down to 10 men after Shane Duffy's needless red card. Substitute Leon Balogun had it, whilst at and it was a momentous occasion for another Liverpool player, as James Milner became only the 13th player to reach 500 Premier League appearances. It was a win that lifted the Reds back above Manchester City at the top of the table, and they would end the weekend there after Pep Guardiola's side suffered their first league defeat of the season away at the Bridge.
Manchester City may be invincible no longer.
Success on the pitch for Chelsea, but there were worrying scenes in the stands as Raheem Sterling was subjected to verbal abuse from a section of the home support.
The fact that we're now talking about it on here is a good thing as well. And hopefully more honesty, more education for me, you, everybody. Education and tolerance, and zero tolerance, but also tolerance for other people.
Ralph Hasenhüttl's appointment saw the Saints pick up their first home win of the season, ending Arsenal's 22-game unbeaten run in all competitions in the process. Sub Charlie Austin came off the bench to grab the late winner.
It's long in the middle. Can he see a priceless win for Southampton?
Fantastic, unbelievable moment to celebrate this victory with all the crowd and with a team that was exceptional.
Meanwhile, in the match zone, Jamie Carragher caught up with Virgil van Dijk, whose outstanding displays for the league leaders were already prompting calls for him to be a potential Player of the Year candidate.
It hasn't been going too bad. I've been enjoying every bit of it, and for me personally as a defender, to see that we only conceded 6 so far is something, is something very good. Obviously, you can't win anything with this, so we still have a long way to go.
But they needed a double from subs Xherdan Shaqiri to secure the win over their arch-rivals.
Comes out for the away for the table. A 19-point lead over their bitter rivals.
When Mourinho got the job, we were all delighted because we're thinking Mourinho and Guardiola, the two top managers, as you said, the last 20 years. We're thinking what happened at Madrid and Barcelona. We don't even speak about Mourinho and Guardiola now in the same sentence.
The only other concern I've got about Mourinho is that we're seeing him on a match day. I'd love to know what the atmosphere is like at the training ground. I'd like to know, is it a happy camp? Because when we've seen the players' body language, I don't get the impression they enjoy playing for Man United.
Now United fans, they don't want to go to the game. They're not looking forward to the match. But that's not just now. That was under David Moyes and it was the manager's fault. That was under Louis van Gaal and it was the manager's fault. That's now under Jose Mourinho, it's the manager's fault. There's 3 managers who've all got good records, good managers, one of them the best of the last 20 years, along with Pep Guardiola. And that's why you have to say at this moment in time, something's broken. You can change the manager. And Manchester United, I'm sure, will change the manager at the end of the season at the latest. I'm pretty certain of that. We're all pretty certain of that.
The Manchester United board wouldn't wait that long, as just 2 days after the humbling defeat at Anfield, Jose Mourinho paid the ultimate price.
The huge breaking news is that Jose Mourinho has left Manchester United. This is what Manchester United have said in the last few moments. He has been sacked. Jose Mourinho has left the club with immediate effect. A new caretaker manager will be appointed until the end of the current season.
And that would be a treble-winning Old Trafford hero.
So, the breaking news, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, along with Mike Phelan, now in charge at Manchester United. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had this to say.
I didn't think twice when they called me to sign me as a player, and obviously this is more of an honour and privilege to be helping the club for a few months.
Liverpool followed up their win with an equally impressive performance at Molineux.
Only 2 Salah. Virgil van Dijk scores his first league goal for Liverpool that might just be the one that keeps them at the top of the table for Christmas.
These nights are very important for us. We won here, and obviously that's a big step for us.
So far this season, we've got a lot of clean sheets, defending really well as a team, and if you're going to win titles, I think that you need to do that throughout the season.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got off to a perfect start with a 5-1 thrashing of his former club, Cardiff. Crystal Palace stunned the defending champions at the Etihad with a contender for goal of the season.
Oh, brilliant! Spectacular! And what an incredible turnaround here! He won't hit a sweeter if on the full volley. That's a world-class strike.
In the final game before Christmas, Spurs produced a cracker of a performance as they hit Everton for 6. Ricardo Pereira's knockout strike on Boxing Day made it back-to-back defeats for the defending champions. Despite trailing at half-time at Wembley, Wolves produced a spectacle to completely turn the game on its head.
And this is how the Tottenham, the title contenders, fall. Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Kamara won the argument, seemingly against Claudio Ranieri's wishes. He would then
But to shoot the penalties and Mitrovic, and then Kamara didn't respect me, the club, the teammates, the crowd, anybody. He'd take the ball and want to shoot the ball. It's unbelievable.
So what were you thinking then when he misses?
What I think, I want to kill him.
Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool were at their routine with a 7-point lead over Manchester City. Liverpool were simply outstanding in December, winning all 7 games. City, who suffered 3 defeats in the month, allowed Tottenham and Chelsea to close the gap, meaning there were just 4 points separating second and fourth. After sacking Jose Mourinho, Manchester United would end the year in 6th place. At the other end of the table, 7 defeats in a row had seen Huddersfield fall back to the bottom of the league. With only 5 points separating 19th and 14th, there was everything to play for going into 2019.
Good position here for Sterling. Touched onto the post by Patricio. Oh, what a save from point blank range. That's well. Aiming for Carroll. It has arrived and forces the save. The highest save from Ali's header. Looking though it might be creeping in. Tremendous save by Kepa. That was a top corner, top class save.
8 months ago, when Manchester City lifted the Premier League trophy, it was expected to herald an era of dominance. But the champions' reign is under serious threat from challengers Liverpool, and tonight they meet in the biggest game of the season so far.
Yeah, I can only see 2 runners, I have to be honest. They are the best 2 teams. I do fear that Liverpool could win the league.
They're nearly the real deal. That's not the real deal. They know they just can't afford to slip up.
This City side is a special side. You can see a proper challenge from Liverpool. We're going to need some off the big Man City.
We're saying off pressing Liverpool being on pressing City.
The Premier League's great entertainers have put on another show. Glorious football. Liverpool are beginning to look a lot like champions. And this place has gone berserk.
Everyone's yelling. It's cracking this ceiling, tape peeling, like the mana floor splitting or splintering. The noise is deafening.
We want to create our own history. Then we will see where it ends.
But the people presume what we have done in the past is going to happen in the future.
Only City can stop City. That's it.
Has shocked the champions. The title race is blown open.
The reality is the fact that we lost 3 games in 4.
Could this be their time? Could this be their title?
A win for Liverpool would see the challengers stretch their lead over the champions to a massive 10 points.
Oh, it's hit the post. Squeezed away from Salah. Liverpool's invincibility in the Premier League this season.
We went toe-to-toe with a very physical, very aggressive team, and I think we matched them for everything, if not more. The result is a result. Liverpool is still in their hands. But the performance was beyond anything I've ever witnessed today.
19-year-old Declan Rice was impressing in the new central midfield role. But as he told Tubes from Soccer AM, it was about time he got his first goal for the Hammers.
It's getting boring now. I need to score.
How are you going to celebrate?
I don't know. Do you want to give me a celebration?
Yeah, I'll give you a celebration.
Declan Rice, baby. Declan Rice, baby.
His strike early in the second half was enough to give West Ham the victory. with the Gunners' poor away form continuing.
Declan, how does it feel to be a West Ham United match winner against Arsenal?
Can't put it into words. Like Nose just said, all the lads always on to me to shoot, and probably I'll pick a pass. But it was in the box, and I thought, you know what, why not take it on? It's gone in the top corner, and we've beat Arsenal. It's a special moment.
Maurizio Pochettino was the centre of attention in the lead-up to this match. Many saw him as the #1 candidate to become United's permanent manager in the summer.
You've been asked about the speculation regarding you and Manchester United. Do you accept or do you understand why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who said he wants the job, will be extra motivated?
I know very well that my name, like many another names, manager are in the media, no? But of course, that is not a thing that worries me or is in my mind. That is a business for Manchester United.
Marcus Rashford had put United 1-0 up, but it was another man that stole the show at Wembley.
And again, De Gea keeps Spurs at bay. Chance after chance, save after save from David De Gea. The caretaker has beaten the prime candidate at Wembley.
I know why I'm here, and I know what my job description is for the months I'm here, so I'm just doing whatever I can to help the club and help the team. So today we got away with 3 points.
Right, as promised, here is the huge breaking news, and David Wagner has left Huddersfield Town. The manager has left by mutual consent.
Wagner's shock resignation left the Terriers bottom of the table and without a manager. Rumours were rife that Jan Siver was about to be announced as the successor to Wagner, with everyone looking out for the former Borussia Dortmund under-23s manager.
Is it Jan Sievert in the crowd, a possible David Wagner successor? Send out Patrick Davidson to find out.
For any special investigations, go to Sky One, don't come to us.
The rumours were confirmed and Sievert signed a 2.5-year contract.
I'd like to challenge myself, and I'm really looking forward to get to know the players and the stuff.
Diogo Jota completed a hat-trick to snatch a thrilling victory against Leicester.
It's Jota! And Wolves have surely clinched it!
It was the Reds that came out victorious in this topsy-turvy match against a important win in a pulsating London derby to keep themselves in the race for the top 4. The victory moved the Gunners to within 3 points of 4th place Chelsea.
A big moment in the title race. Those in Liverpool watching from behind a sofa. Goal for Newcastle. Manchester City unexpectedly ambushed on Tyneside.
At the Vitality Stadium, January signing Gonzalo Higuain made his debut, but he couldn't stop Chelsea slipping to a humiliating defeat on the south coast. The Blues subsequently dropped out of the top 4, leaving Maurizio Sarri furious.
It's still Brooks! Brooks! 2-0 to Bournemouth! And King! It's 3-0! Charlie Daniels makes it 4-0! Total humiliation for Chelsea!
Maybe it's my fault because I am not able to motivate this group, these players. I don't know why.
The title race took another unexpected twist as Liverpool were unable to take advantage of City's stumble. The Reds had the opportunity to increase their lead to 7 points. A Harry Maguire equaliser stunned the Anfield faithful, restricting their lead at the top of the table to 5. After a traumatic month, 3 defeats in 4 saw Neil Warnock's Cardiff slip back into the bottom 3. While at Southampton, the appointment of Ralph Hasenhüttl had clearly had the desired effect as the Saints moved 4 points clear of the relegation zone. 2 defeats in January saw Chelsea drop out of the top 4, while Wolves continued their impressive run, occupying 7th place. Despite losing their unbeaten run at the hands of Manchester City, Liverpool remained 5 points clear of their title rivals. This was the first opportunity the fans, players and Neil Warnock had to pay tribute to Emiliano Sala at the Cardiff City Stadium after his tragic death. Sergio Aguero's 10th Premier League hat-trick closed the gap at the top to only 2 points after a comfortable victory over Arsenal.
Here's Sterling. He has done it by the finest of margins.
Four to 5 days ago we could be 7 points behind, now we are first, so that is a good lesson to never give up.
For the red side of Manchester, the Solskjaer revolution continued with a comprehensive win at Craven Cottage.
What a finish! What a finish that is by Paul Pogba.
Martial sort of getting forward, Adoi trying to get back.
Diallo to move Peach. Anthony Martial at his brilliant best.
Liverpool returned to the top of the league with a composed display at Anfield.
When you're aiming for the league title, every game becomes must-win.
Delightful from Liverpool. Relentless from Liverpool. Liverpool well and truly in the groove today.
While on Super Sunday, viewers were treated to 6 of the best from Manchester City.
Of course, he's very forward.
Absolute beauty. 2-0 Manchester City.
Everybody's partially away. Ross Barkley needs to hold
it back for Aguero. This one more of a gift, but it is 3-0.
Stepping up, Azpilicueta.
Penalty. A perfect penalty. Another wound for Chelsea.
David Silva, all the room for Zinchenko.
It is a rout. It's a catastrophe for Chelsea here.
The following week at Turf Moor, Spurs' title aspirations were dealt a huge blow.
That's a bit.
Yeah, I'd say this makes it really hard.
Leicester City paid their respects to club legend and World Cup winner Gordon Banks, who sadly passed away earlier in the month at the age of 81. The next day, the board would take decisive action and end Claude Puel's reign as Leicester manager.
The news we've been waiting for all afternoon. Leicester City have now appointed Brendan Rodgers as first team manager. Joins from Celtic, of course, where he won 7 domestic trophies in 2.5 years.
There was an instant impact at the King Power as the new manager was in the stands to watch his team beat Brighton. The big talking point ahead of the midweek clash against Tottenham was how would Maurizio Sarri deal with goalkeeper Kepa after his refusal to be substituted in the Carabao Cup final loss to City 3 days earlier. Kepa would take his place on the bench, and Sarri's display of strength would be vindicated with a vital victory, leaving Tottenham's title challenge all but up. Southampton moved out of the relegation zone and left Fulham 10 points adrift with a comfortable win at St Mary's.
You think your job's safe? My job? I don't know. Ask to the owner.
The very next day, it was announced that Ranieri had been sacked after just 106 days in charge. His deputy Scott Parker would be replacing him until the end of the season. With the bottom two struggling to pick up points, the gap between them and safety grew even larger. Brighton in 16th were in danger of being dragged into the relegation scrap after claiming just a single point in February. 3 wins in 4 saw Manchester United hit form at just the right time, while their Manchester neighbours came storming back into the title race. City beat Chelsea on penalties to win the Carabao Cup, and then won all 4 of their league games to close the gap on the league leaders to just 1 point. Brighton started the month off with a crucial victory against bottom-of-the-table Huddersfield.
Great ball into the area, and they've scored, and Dundee once more against Huddersfield, and this might be a winner as well, even more important than the one at the start of the season.
This was the Seagulls' first win at home in 2019. Scott Parker's first match as
Zaha, oh, sensational! Wonderful turn from Sigurdsson! That is phenomenal! Rabania. Ramsey's there! Wonderful! This is Pereira, who takes on the strike himself! That is glorious! Daniel Sturridge! find a way through. Oh, that is magnificent. Captain Marvel.
4 weeks from today, this trophy will be in the hands of either Liverpool or Manchester City. And we watch both today live on Super Sunday on a day which could be decisive in the race for the title.
The biggest competition in world football should be decided pretty late in the season.
We want to win this title.
I like the situation. We are in it.
We accept the challenge.
And if you're in it, you want to win it. One will be disappointed at the end of the season. So that's how it is.
Nobody said it would be easy. Nobody.
Let's go for it.
You should see me in the crowd. I know there's nothing to Anfield roars! You should see me in the crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me think mesmerizing Manchester City. Scores in style. It's a crazy moment. Could this be their time? Could this be their title?
It's over to you, Liverpool.
With City winning, the pressure was back on Jurgen Klopp's men. It had been almost 5 years since Liverpool's title chances were ruined by a 2-0 defeat in the same fixture, a fact that the Anfield faithful were all too aware of.
50-50 now. I've always felt Liverpool, City were in front. Liverpool had to get over these 3 games and then the 4 left. Right now, I couldn't split them.
It's an absolute stormer from Nathaniel Mendes-Lang.
Like to keep going, and you know, we didn't need any help today. We did it ourselves. The team did everything right, and we deserved the win.
We need to make sure that we show the quality that we know that we can, the fighting spirit that we know that we can, the togetherness that we know that we can, and take that into these final games.
Calvert-Lewin, goal! Richarlison! Sigurdsson hits it! And Higginson hits the back of the net!
twice when Ivan Lyon Robin crashed over their front wall.
And it's in. What a derby debut.
There's been broken laws, scolding applause, Wayne belting out with a bicycle kick.
Ready!
Who'd have thought that two so close would make such a historical rift? We've got them next door and then those down the road that are battling it out as well. And where it'll end up, only time will tell. The outcome of this one could decide on
defeat against his former club. Goals from Higuain and Jorginho would prove enough to see Maurizio Sarri's men leave Fulham with all 3 points.
My message at the start of the game was I want the fans to look at us with pride, and that's what makes me happiest. I said it at the start, you can win and lose these games against quality teams, but you want to come off the field having known that you've put in all you can, and we did that today.
In the second derby of the day, Everton ensured Manchester City remained top of the league as they held Liverpool at Goodison Park.
They're still only beaten once in the league this season, but they've won only 2 of their last 6.
Brighton secured the double over their South East rivals, but it wasn't without controversy. Anthony Knockaert was fortunate to escape with the booking for a poor tackle after just 28 seconds. It was the fastest booking in the Premier League for a decade. Brighton would then take the lead thanks to Glenn Murray's 100th goal for the club, becoming only the second man to achieve the landmark for the Seagulls.
Anthony Knockaert has produced a moment of serious magic. Here comes Ward-Prowse. Oh, it's fantastic! Another moment of genius from James Ward-Prowse.
In conjunction with Premier League and Sky Ocean Rescue, Arsenal will be the first club to trial the use of reusable plastic cups.
This is one of thousands of reusable plastic cups will be here today, given out for any beverage that is purchased inside the stadium. What's it all about? Well, Laura Woods can tell us a bit more.
We're all used to using plastic pint cups at football games, but now we know the trouble that plastic causes to our environment. So Sky Ocean Rescue and the Premier League are working together to make it easier for fans to pass on plastic. This weekend, Arsenal will become the first club to trial a new reusable cup. It's a huge game, Arsenal versus Manchester United, and it's dedicated to the Sky Ocean Rescue campaign.
Don't throw it, reuse it, and pass on plastic.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer suffered his first league defeat at the Emirates as Arsenal leapfrogged their opponents to move into the top 4.
Too good for David De Gea. He rolled it past De Gea and it's Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. It looks as though Fulham have shot themselves in the foot again. Scores, Liverpool back in front with 10 minutes to go.
Let's start with some breaking news. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Manchester United's new permanent manager.
This has been my, of course, ultimate dream all the time. Maybe a naive dream, but I've always had that dream in my mind to have this responsibility.
As a response to recent events, the Premier League launched its No Room for Racism campaign ahead of this weekend's fixtures.
And action.
And wall-to-wall drama.
Our game is fast-paced and unpredictable. We crowd into stadiums,
Pubs, gardens, front rooms,
and bedrooms.
For every chance,
every cheer, every tackle, every goal.
all of us side by side.
Every space taken.
There is no room for racism.
Anywhere.
On the pitch.
And in the stadiums.
Anywhere.
The passion we share brings us together.
This is everyone's game.
City put the pressure right back on their title rivals with a dominant display at Fulham. 2 goals in the first 27 minutes sent Guardiola's men back to the top of the table. At Selhurst Park, Huddersfield equalled the record for the earliest relegation.
It's the way to do it.
The Terriers joined Derby County and Ipswich Town as the only teams in Premier League history to be relegated with 6 games left to play.
The thing is, I know in life, unfortunately, there's not just success, there's also failure. And the important message is that we have to learn out of our failures as a club. And the club is really willing to do it. That is a good thing, because we have to look at each thing which went wrong this season.
Neil Warnock's Cardiff were 5 points from safety for a reversal match at the Cardiff City Stadium.
By Willian, Marcus Alonso on, and Chelsea find a way through.
And when that is flipped on, as for Laqueta, is clearly in an offside position. Chelsea got Olivier.
A devastated Neil Warnock made sure the officials were aware of his frustrations at full time. At Firmino's header as the run-in gathered pace. Tottenham equalised in the second half through Lucas Moura before more late drama in front of the Kop.
Salah pulling away, it's not picked up. Oh, there is an own goal. It's a crazy moment. Mo Salah, you little dancer.
Normally I stay outside, but I just follow my intuitions. I say I go inside. Then, yeah.
You going for goal there? Are you trying to get it across?
Yeah, I want to score the goal.
Oh, we know that.
Yeah.
By the end of March, Huddersfield's fate was sealed, and it looked increasingly likely Fulham would be joining them. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's incredible run of form had seen Manchester United climb into 4th spot. The former Old Trafford hero had taken 35 from a possible 42 points, meaning only a point separated 3rd to 6th. Liverpool held a slender 2-point lead over City, though the champions had a game in hand on their rivals.
But I'll be absolutely honest, I don't really care less. What's that old proverb? Love thy neighbour, innit? Well, there'll be no chance of that for the next 90 odd minutes.
In an eagerly anticipated season-defining Manchester derby, Pep Guardiola's side knew anything but a win would leave Liverpool at the top of the table and in charge of their own destiny. All eyes were on Manchester to see how this titanic battle would unfold.
Good goal, Bernardo Silva. Priceless goal for Manchester City. And Sane with space. Score! And that could be the goal that seals the derby win at Old Trafford for Manchester City.
What does it say about this particular title race? You're still neck and neck with Liverpool.
Both deserve the title. Liverpool and ourselves deserve it, just one. So I think the team is going to lose. They'll have regrets.
It's a real powerhouse of a club coming up against you, Man United and teams like that who are world superstars. City are putting themselves in that bracket.
But we're on about players now wanting to win the big prizes. You look at Man United, if you're a top player, you will not want to come to Man United because there's better options out there.
Mikel Ancelotti was enough to inflict Spurs' first loss after 5 games in their new stadium. The defeat ensured Mauricio Pochettino's men were very much still in the battle for a top 4 place.
The ball across the line. 5 margins indeed, and City, possibly by centimetres, do get that breakthrough.
All but in their hopes of playing in the Champions League next season. Fulham became the second team to be relegated after defeat at Watford. Cardiff looked to be favourites to join them, but Brighton in 17th was still not mathematically safe. Southampton retained their top-flight status with 38 points. Going into the final month of the season, Tottenham and Chelsea occupied the last 2 Champions League spots. Wolves maintained their grip on 7th, while Pep Guardiola's Manchester City had retaken the lead in a title race that looked certain to go down to the wire. Spurs knew a win at the Vitality Stadium would pretty much guarantee them a place in next season's Champions League. But 2 dismissals in 5 second-half minutes left Mauricio Pochettino's side hanging on to try and claim a valuable point.
But Neil was surely assured.
I know it sounds difficult. We got relegated, and yeah, it's been probably one of my best managerial seasons that I've ever had in my life. the problems that we've had to put up with, that's cropped up throughout the season, it's been pretty amazing, really. And I've nothing but praise for everybody, really.
1 point between them, and now just 2 games to go. And if Liverpool were to slip up tonight, Manchester City could be crowned champions on Monday night.
Totally unmarked. Great moment for Liverpool. And Rondo off on the line. The follow-up is there. Liverpool are back in front, Mo Salah. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2. It's absolutely rounded by Salah and Rondon. It is 2-2. That's a silly free kick to give away. Shaqiri takes it in the end. And Origi. And that could just be the most important Liverpool goal of their fantastic season.
He's done it again, keeping this title race alive.
That's it. They go to the top of the table. It's over to you, Manchester City.
Chelsea's Champions League with a victory over Watford at Stamford Bridge.
It's a great ball. Higuain. That's defence just what he can do if he gets the service.
Aaron Ramsey was given an emotional send-off by Arsenal before his move to Juventus. Ramsey will join the Italian Giants on a free transfer in the summer after 11 years with the Gunners. It would also be the last game at the Emirates for Petr Cech, who would retire after 15 years in the Premier League.
Brighton have equalised. For Arsenal was almost an automatic right, but they're staring now at the prospect of a 3rd consecutive season without it.
We're into the final week of this epic title race. 2 games to go for Manchester City. 2 games from the first title defence in their history. But even after 12 straight wins, there is still no margin for error after Liverpool's late victory at Newcastle on Saturday night. Tonight, Leicester City here at the Etihad stand in City's way, and it's live on the Monday Night Football.
Where do you want your statue, Vincent Kompany?
Where others had failed, he nailed. They've done it 10, a 13th straight win in the Premier League. A goal worthy of the occasion.
What he is, outstanding, incredible. He is the leader on the pitch.
Today was a little bit of frustration because everyone's saying, don't shoot. I could really hear it. And it was annoying me, and I said, hold on a second. I've not come this far in my career for young players to tell me whether I can take a shot or not, and I just took it.
What was it like when that goal went in? It's an extraordinary moment, Gary.
I was in this stadium when the Aguero goal went in, and obviously for these fans out here, it can never get any better than that, but that's just run it very close.
Manchester United home defeat to relegated Cardiff City, drawing to a close a disappointing campaign for the Reds. Young scored twice as Arsenal beat Burnley at Turf Moor, but the Gunners missed out on Champions League football for the 3rd successive season. The prolific frontman would end on 22 league goals, which would see him share the Golden Boot with Liverpool duo Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah.
With 1 game to go, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in the race for the Premier League title. If they win here at Brighton today, they will be crowned champions.
But Jurgen Klopp's side know that anything is possible after the midweek madness at Anfield. The Reds will hope for the same dramatic outcome to what's already been an epic season.
Title races. The cast may change. The story is always different. But we've read every script, right? We've seen greatness and witnessed miracles. Watched comebacks and collapses. Domination and perfection. But we've not seen this. Never this.
Manchester City and Liverpool. Unrelenting rivalry right to the very end.
What these two teams are doing is remarkable.
It really is the most incredible title race.
It's the remaking of a classic. against the enigma of the sequel.
Simply the best. So much better than all the rest.
Relentless, ruthless, refusing to blink. No folding, no nerves, no giving an inch. Two heroes, two teams, two unbelievable seasons, but only one prize.
Neither of them are blinking. It's the flawless title race. Game on.
On it goes, this extraordinary title race.
It's been box office, blockbuster, enthralling and epic, and still we don't know how it's going to end, because we've never seen anything quite like this before.
It's a catastrophic goal from Manchester City's point of view.
Brighton are leading Manchester City, and it was from a corner.
Well, maybe these Liverpool fans can see to the future, and the future they want to see is Jordan Henderson lifting that trophy.
There has been another development at the Amex. They have drawn themselves level. It's Brighton 1, Manchester City 1. Who else? Guerrero. It doesn't change the scenario in terms of how the league
As it's there.
header from the corner, and that puts Manchester City back in control.
Don't underestimate his right foot, and do not underestimate Manchester City on the final day.
Brilliant from Mahrez and those fans behind the goal. That is it.
Doesn't he know it? Is the latest thrill. Ilkay Gundogan City, they are wrapping it up in some style here. Place in the Premier League does go to Manchester City. They will turn their focus on the Chavez and Brendan Rodgers, who have landed silver when the gold has gone elsewhere.
Since spanning 11 years, the last act of Captain Vincent Kompany was to lift the Premier League trophy for the 4th time, as he announced his departure at the end of the season.
We have to say congratulations Liverpool as well, of course, and thank you so much, because they help us to push and to increase our standard from the last season.
To get 97 or 98 points, it's not about always outplaying the opponent. It's about staying in the race, staying on the track, stay believing, keep believing and stuff like that. That's what we did. And of course, when your opponent is City, then it's difficult.
To win the title, you have to win 14 games in a row. So we knew it from 3 months to 2 or 3 months, but we cannot lose 1 point.
England's highest quality title race of all time. Again, in the Premier League, Manchester City.
19 season complete, it was heartbreak for Cardiff, Fulham and Huddersfield, as they would be playing in the Championship next season. Huddersfield's points tally of 16 will be the 3rd lowest in Premier League history, beaten only by Sunderland in 05-06 and Derby in 07-08. Chelsea and Tottenham secured their Champions League spots for next season, while Arsenal, Manchester United and Premier League newcomers Wolves all achieved Europa League football. But it was Pep Guardiola's City that became the first team in 10 years to retain the title after their battle with Liverpool. The Reds' total of 97 points would have been enough to win the title in all but 2 seasons. City became only the 3rd club to defend their crown in what was a truly
going the way of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They love a game against a Big Six team that has shocked the champions. The title race is blown open. What a majestic solo goal from Callum Wilson! Oh, what a strike! Brilliant goal! A moment of serious magic! Absolutely amazing! Look at Jurgen Klopp! It's shot! A stunning victory for Bournemouth! Wolverhampton, a flash of brilliance! That is glorious! Those feet were made for scoring! What a goal! Coming out! Salah! That is world class. Cardiff City relegated. It's falling apart for Manchester United. To keep them in the hunt.
Where do you want your statue, Vincent Kompany?
Do not underestimate Manchester City on the final day. First place in the Premier League does go to Manchester City.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.